we gonna get into the trade that made the headlines, the one that everybody's talking about. Okay, and for sure, I have something else I wanted to make sure, you know what I mean, I put out there. But Da Vinci, you said you wanted to get into something. So get into it, and then I got one more clip I gotta play, and then we can have a long discussion if you want, sir.
Well, you're gonna run the clip. Oh, we're gonna get into discussion about the big trade, right?
Yeah, no, this clip has something to do with the big trade. So
Okay, run it then. Run it. Run it. Run it.
run
Run
it.
it. Yeah, run
All
it.
right, all right, all right. I'll run the clip. I'll run the clip. Where is it at? Where is it at? Don't mind me, people. Here we go. Boom.
Putting a lot of the blame on Harden, Kyrie, and just injuries in general. Every team has injuries. I'm not putting that there. And I'm not saying, they never got a chance. They had a chance. They were all on the same roster. Nick, I think this was an abject failure of Brooklyn's leadership. The leadership is what destroyed this big three. And we saw it very early on when Steve Nash was named the head coach and Kyrie went on KD's podcast and said, you know what? We don't really have a head coach. KD could be the coach. I could be the coach one day. Steve Nash should have listened to that and say, no, I am the coach and I am going to make the decisions. Because from that point on, every decision was every which way. Hey, are we going to play DeAndre Jordan? Yes, he's going to start. Nope. A few months later, DNP coach's decision. Hey, you know what?
Sorry for stopping it in the midst of that clip, but you know what? Don't worry. Within a month, we're going to have a lot of clips from previous shows stating that we were saying a lot of this stuff before y'all heard it on TV. So y'all got to stay in tune with us, because it's not like we over here, we got the connections that these guys have. We're fans just like y'all, watching and dissecting the game as we watch. So just pay attention.
What Sean Marks made an organizational decision that Kyrie is not going to play because, quote, they have to remain true to our long-established values of togetherness and sacrifice. 2 months later, hey, by the way, we changed our mind. Kyrie's welcome back. Someone has to make a decision. Hey, KD, have you talked to Kyrie about getting vaccinated? Nope, it's not my place. Okay, sure, it's a medical thing. Kyrie, did you talk to Harden about staying? Quote from yesterday, that's not really my place. It's no one's place to do anything. And that's why this team is just rudderless. Yes. No one wants to be a leader. And I know everyone's going to say, this is the thing I'm super mad about. And I want this never to happen again. When coaches win Coach of the Year, everyone always comes out of the woodwork and says, bunch of stars. Of course, Phil Jackson won Coach of the Year. He had a bunch of stars. Oh, Steve Kerr, anybody could do that with a bunch of stars. No, you can't. Yeah. It's actually harder. When you look at The Last Dance, Phil Jackson had Scottie Pippen take an elective surgery to start the season. He kept the team together. Oh, Dennis Rodman, you want to go to Las Vegas and literally be in a wrestling match in the playoffs? Sure, I'll keep the team together. The idea that Steve Nash and Sean Marks couldn't keep three iconic superstars of this generation together is not a failure of injuries and health. It is a failure of leadership.
So, now that we got that out there, Kevin Wiles, I like your point. I agree with it. I was saying it before, but ain't nobody want to hear me. You know what I mean? But it's all good. Now, the Vince, what do you say about this trade deadline, man? How you feeling?
I mean, Kevin Wiles obviously made some very valid points. I think he hit a whole bunch of stuff right on top of the nail. But I would say one thing I would say though, I think Kevin Durant is a leader, but Kevin Durant is not a traditional leader in the sense of being so vocal. Kevin Durant is a leader with his play. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
He's a leader with his play. He's a leader when you need those big buckets or you need that something, he's gonna give it to you. He's not known as a defensive player, but when you need a defensive stop, he's gonna be there. So that's the type of leader he is, right? But King, this is not new to us, man. this is what we've been saying. And if you guys go back and look at some of our content, this is what we've been saying. Nothing against Steve Nash. Love you. One of my favorite players I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Um, but you are not the right coach. You weren't the right coach to deal with these three type of superstars. Um, you know, like there's listen, listen. I mean, there's so many other coaches out there. If these guys had even Mark Jackson or somebody like that,
Yeah, that the garbage that went on wouldn't have went on. But also
absolutely.
another point he had was the same point I was saying about Kyrie. I'm not here to bash him, but part of the reason why Harden did what he did is because Kyrie decided to be a part-time player. He didn't want to sacrifice. And guess what?
Hmm.
In a team sport, if you see there's one player on the team who's supposed to be your superstar or your second or third superstar, and they're on the same level, all three of them are on the same level. The only thing is KD's got 2 rings, Kyrie's got one, Harden's got none. So Harden is
Hmm.
super hungry. You know what I mean? I think KD is still super hungry too because he wants to prove he can win one without the Warriors. He won his two, but now he's really, you know what I mean? Like he's enjoying basketball, he's loving it, but also he knows this is the prize. I want to show everybody I can do something somewhere else. But
Yeah,
Harden ran when it got tough.
that's what he
Harden,
does. I
yeah,
mean, it's clearly what he does. Mm.
that's what he's been doing.
Yeah.
It's not even a question about what Harden. Watch what happens in Philly. Let Philly start going downhill at some point in time next year and see if Harden don't do the same thing.
Hmm. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and listen, and it wasn't the thing about for me. What really upsets me here is nothing comes out. It was not even about most of the stories I was hearing about. It wasn't really about Kyrie. Most of the stories I'm hearing about is like, come on, you a baller, you're getting this much money, and you're a superstar, and you're worrying about, oh, you don't like the city, you don't like the coal. That's a lot of what I've been hearing, King, and that's what upsets me,
No, but I heard both. I heard,
right?
I heard, I heard the whole Kyrie part-time player thing. That was the final straw.
Yeah, but listen, that I can't disagree with, right? Okay, that I can't disagree with. For
Yeah,
me, in my aspect of it, I listen. I love Kyrie. I would love to see Kyrie full time. Absolutely, I would love to see him
of
full time.
course.
Kyrie being part time, I still enjoying it as a big fan of his,
Here's the
right?
thing, though, Da Vinci, you enjoy it, but Harden is feeling like he's left out in the dust,
No,
left
no,
out
no.
in the wind,
Listen,
right?
yeah, no, listen. I understand what you're saying. So me now sitting on my couch as a fan, I enjoy seeing Kyrie play. So now James Harden as a player that's on the team, I know he must be frustrated because at nights when he needs Kyrie, Kyrie's not there, right? So I understand that part. I'm not gonna take that away from him. But
Yeah,
the whole part about King now, the whole I don't like the city, I don't do this, I don't like that, I don't like this. Come on, man. Come on. That's as a ball player, you getting that much money. That's the last thing you should be worried about,
of course.
right?
No, of course. It's definitely. I would say more or less Harden has the right to feel the way he felt because there's dysfunctioning going on from the top down.
Yes,
They should
agreed.
have kept Kyrie off the team, period. Harden would have understood. He would have got it. You know what I mean? But this halftime part-time player and then Kyrie's attitude to boot drove the man to do the slimiest ish. Like, I don't know if y'all watched that Kings game, but that game had me extremely upset because the shot selection I see from Harden and the defense let me know he checked out.
Body language. You're right. Body language, shots, everything. You.
It let me know he checked out.
Okay, so we've seen it before.
Oh, we seen it in Houston.
Yeah,
We seen it in Houston. You know what I mean? As much as people want to say, okay, he's moving here and moving there and player movement, I'm all for player movement.
absolutely. Me
KD,
too.
LeBron James, they played their contract out
Hmm.
and then they left. They
And
didn't
none
make
of
a
the, no,
big stink